This question around building, businesses that are based on atoms or bits is always a good one, and probably a recurring one. In as much that we had two of our friends and investors actually send in the same exact question. So we had it from both Mike Krieger, who was the founder of Instagram, and Enrique de Bogras, who's the founder of Brex. Both sent in the exact same question, asking how you felt that kind of building hardware product has evolved over time with this, I guess, sort of this meme of building hardware is hard, and do you see it getting easier or harder over time?
So there's two ways to consider it. One is the discipline around building it and designing it and everything else. That hasn't changed. You have to be incredibly disciplined, because if you get one thing wrong and you have to make a change, it can cost 10 times more money to get it right, to fix it in the field or fix it in inventory. So you have to be painstakingly accurate when it comes to making hardware, whether it's the simplest hardware. I remember the Stripe reader, the very first Stripe reader, they took forever to get that out. And that was, for a hardware person, like software people, it was software people said, oh, we could do the simple reader. It was the hardest thing for them. Same thing with the Fitbit guys. Mm-hmm. They got it wrong because they were software guys going, oh yeah, we'll just throw it in and we'll throw it over the wall at China or Taiwan or whatever. It's not like that. So they lost, each of those companies lost probably a year and a half to 2 years because they just didn't take the process of building hardware or anything with atoms seriously enough. That's one. So you have to worry about that. This is not an agile scrum every 2 weeks and it's going to get out. That's not how this works. So you have to treat it differently. That said, it shouldn't take too long. But on the other side, there's the tools, there's the infrastructure. COVID and logistics things notwithstanding, I'm going to put that aside. Obviously, that's affecting everyone, whether you're big or small. But on the tool side, the amount of access, it's so much easier now than it ever has been. Either from the hardware perspective, the components you can buy and how you can buy them and the cost of them, but also all the software, the modeling, all the CAD tools, 3D printing, 3D scanning. All of those things can come together much more easily than it did 20 years ago, definitely 30 years ago, even 10 years ago. So it's great in one perspective, but in the other perspective, you have to have the discipline. And just because the tools are better, whatever, doesn't mean you can forego all of those steps and the rigor that you need to make sure you get the atoms things right. Now, the last thing is we have some existential problems on our hands, and that's called climate change. Climate change will not be solved with bits only. It's going to be solved with bits and atoms, and a lot of atoms, trillions of dollars worth of atoms. And so if you want to go into any kind of environmental thing, any climate change solution, you're going to touch atoms. You're probably most likely going to ship atoms in some form. It's a great barrier to entry for all these other startups who think they can just do it too. So one, don't let it deter you, but you can make a tremendous amount of money. You saw what happened with Nest, and that was just a thermostat, right? Can you imagine all these other things? And there's much more money. There's much more, many more customers. And we're talking about changing the world of atoms across the globe at the same time. Not we start here and then it kind of trickles out. These energy solutions, these environmental solutions need to go around the world now. And so it's a tremendously great opportunity. So don't think that a bits only company is going to solve the climate or is the panacea. You can do stuff with atoms, get the right team, and you can actually help our existential problem in solving it.